Hey y'all, I'm Shayna and I'm here with another review. This is for Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 5, Episode 14, Fair Game. And when I tell you one whole season is literally one day in Tyler Perry land, we just gonna go ahead and jump into it. If you've been here before and you're watching the videos and not subscribing, like what are you doing? Help your girl out and hit the subscribe. Be sure to like the video and check out my other content to help my channel grow. And let's go ahead and jump into it. So we pick back up where we left off. Last week, we know we ended with Andy and Karen arriving at Zach and Fatima's house. So Karen is sitting in there. She's speaking to Fatima and Zach at their home. Zach tells her if the baby is his, he would like to be involved in the child's life, and he wants to establish a child support arrangement to be on the safe side. It's just in case the baby's his. Zach feels like $3K a month is fair, but Karen is being bitter and petty like always. Like, my goodness, it's hard to even believe. Like, the first season, I kind of liked her character, but we so far removed, honey. I'm like, get her off my screen. I think I dislike her as much as I dislike Hayden. So she looking around the house, being all jealous. And I hate it for her. Like, I hate the way he wrote her character. Like, it's like acrimony stretched all the way out. And she like, look, she mad because she not living in it. She like, that desk over there, you were supposed to build for me. And what is Fatima studying? She's studying to be a lawyer. But that's none of your business, girl. Move around. He built it for you, but it's Fatima's desk now. Move along. Zach was like, look, I don't even know if the baby is mine. And basically, she giving him hell without even knowing. I don't think it is. Like, no, it ain't. But Karen said it's his baby. Fatima was like, well, how do you know? And Karen said, you know what? I took your advice and I got the ultrasound and the dates match. And Fatima was like, but it was real close. Like, only like a day apart. And then Karen was like, oh, 7 days to be exact. So Fatima was like, that's not 100%. Karen starts getting combative and defensive. It's not. We need blood work. Until we get a DNA test done professionally, I don't want no at-home kit. I want it done, and I want to see everybody going in there, and I want to see it done correctly. Because, it just better be Aaron's baby. It just better be. Like, Zach and Fatima do not deserve all this. Karen said she's not going after child support, and Aaron will step up, really to be involved in the child's life, even though he knows it's not his baby. And Zach was like, well, I'll be involved. Again, if this is his child, because you acting like he need to do all these things already, and you like 2 seconds pregnant. We still don't even see a baby bump at this point, let alone knowing who the father actually is. And she like, it's all right, but the child will have 2 fathers. I'm like, you really trying to get under his skin? Like, he just wants to see the baby, not you, sis. Karen starts throwing shade at Fatima, saying, oh, and I feel for you, and she gonna be struggling and all that stuff. And really, Karen was like, look, y'all happy relationship pisses me off. Like, it bothers me. Seeing this house is just getting on my nerves. Seeing this gets on my nerves. Seeing the wall, seeing the couch, seeing this and that. Then she comes across the engagement ring and got even more bitter. I said, oh, well, she found out they were engaged. Oh, that sent her right up over the edge. So Karen said to Zach, because she like, oh, did y'all engage? And she's holding a ring, and he took it out of her hand. She better be glad she pregnant, because if I was Fatima, what? First of all, I'm not taking off my ring because you're coming over. I'm not. And then she left it in the open. Like, girl, put it in a box. But I'm not taking nothing off. And you don't be touching my ring. It's mine. It belongs to me. I don't care what y'all had before. It's over and done with. So Karen says Zach can type up an agreement as far as the child support is concerned, give it to Andy so she can review it, and she'll sign it, and she leaves. And Zach just begins to break down, and he tells Fatima, like, look, if this drama is too much for you, like, I understand if you want to leave and find somebody else, like, because really you deserve better. And she does. And she a better woman than me, because I would have left a long time ago. I keep saying that, but baby, all this drama, and we just started. Like, I love them together, but ooh-wee, Zach cannot catch a break. But she said she gonna stick beside them, and they shed tears, and yeah, she admits it's a lot. It is a lot, especially when she's not bringing anything. Like, she's not coming with any baggage, and it's like every day is something else with Zach. So Maurice calls Calvin in the next scene. he being his normal sarcastic self and trying to find the humor in things, but he getting, anxious up in that cell. Like, he's tired of it. And he just feels like everyone's blaming him for the fact that, for, the Hugh situation and the fact that they're even in this situation. He feel like Sabrina blaming him. He feel like Calvin blaming him. Calvin, like, nobody's blaming you, and, I love you and all this stuff, and he's still being smart. But, I mean, it's a tough situation, especially he don't got no lawyer, no nothing. So Maurice needs lawyers, and he's talking to Calvin about it, and Calvin was like, well, Sabrina's going to talk to Andy. And he's like, what's she going to do? Do y'all keep forgetting she's a lawyer? And he's like, that's how she got out. Like, what are you saying? And then he was like, well, okay, fine. Give me Andy's number. And he's like, I don't have Andy's number. And he was like, so Maurice getting an attitude. He like, look, call me back in an hour. I'll get it. He's like, I'm done with my phone calls for the night. And he was like, call me back in the morning. I'll have it for you. So, a side note, Andy needs to switch from divorce lawyer to criminal lawyer, because I don't see her helping nobody with no divorces. I ain't seen her help nobody with a divorce since Gary was getting divorced. We don't even know if that's finalized. That's neither here nor there. I just see her handling criminal cases, even though she can't lie to save her life. So, Karen calls Pam to micromanage her, and she's getting on Pam's last nerve. And then she pull up on Aaron at the basketball court, and she just being soft for a change, vulnerable for once, and says, thank you. And he like, for what? And she's like, for being consistent, because it's finally getting through to her. You thought that baby was gonna save you in Zach's relationship. It's over, honey. It's done. And she is to blame. She literally went with Aaron and pushed Zach into Fatima's arms. Like, it literally is her fault. Like, girl, you got to blame yourself. The timing was just terrible. Like, yeah, sad he came up when you let him go, but you let him go. So, I just hope it's Aaron's baby. Gary is in Andy's penthouse again. Where does Gary live? When are we going to see Gary's house? Where's Gary's kids? Anyway, he's waiting at the elevator, butt naked. But to his surprise, Danny walks in. She keep on seeing his manhood. Like, every time I turn around now, she keeps seeing him exposed. That's Tyler Perry. Just know he loved to have a man naked. I'm surprised he wasn't greased down. Y'all remember that Boondocks episode when they were talking about Tyler Perry and they had the oil? If you watch that episode, drop down in the comment section. So Sabrina comes in, and Danny tells her that Gary's in there naked, and they think they're back together. I would too, because he's always there. And I just would not feel comfortable with my friends seeing my man naked. Like, I know he got a key and they got keys. Like, this is supposed to be for emergency purposes, not for you to use all willy-nilly and free like you live here. Y'all don't pay no bills here. Y'all can't stay here. You can't walk up in here. None of that. So Gary overheard them bashing him, and he tells him he's a changed man, and he loves Andy, and Andy loves him. They're not back together. They're just dating. And he's like, I'm just going to leave. You should, so we can talk about you in peace. Gary apologizes to Danny, for exposing her yet again to his body. She said, no need to apologize. I've seen it twice already. Same time next week. She plays so much. So after that, she leaves, and Sabrina starts talking about Calvin being at her house when Bolo came over. That's the restaurant owner. And Danny was like, you know what? That's somebody I'm starting to second guess. Like, I'm starting to, change my opinion about Calvin, because he was really riding for you with everything. Like, and he really, really was, and still is. But she was like, look, I seen him getting all worked up, I see him getting upset. And when he was beating on the guy, she wouldn't say Q. She would not say Q. So we just gonna drag this on forever and a day. It would have been better probably if Tyler had Q under an alias when he was working, in some type of witness protection type thing or something, working under another name at the airport or something like that. So then she wouldn't be able to piece the names together instead of just saying the guy. Like, it was too obvious. She's seen Calvin, whooping on him. And so she seen him attacking him, and she knows what he's capable of. Andy finally arrives, and she tries to tell Sabrina and Danny what happened with Zatima and Karen while Karen is parking her car. And she giving a very real long detailed version. Like, girl, get to it. Like, get to the point. So Karen walks in and she like, I know you was talking about me, like, clearly. And then they was like, and she was like, you're not a good liar. And Danny was like, yeah, I mean to be a lawyer. And I'm like, that's about the second time in 2 weeks that we done heard that she can't lie for nothing, and she's a lawyer. Like, awful. We should have gave her a whole nother, like, she could have been a corporate office baddie without being a lawyer. Because honey, you and law don't make sense. But Karen confronts Andy. She like, did you know they was engaged? You know Zatima was engaged? And, at first she was like, look, I didn't, but then eventually she was like, look, yes, I knew. And Karen was like, you should have told me. And she was like, that's your ex job to tell you. That ain't my place, that ain't my business. She's friends on both sides. She's cool with Fatima, so why would she tell you that wasn't her place? And Karen, so getting upset, talking about, oh, so I could look like a fool. No. Not knowing who your baby daddy is looks a little foolish to me. But okay. So Karen tells him Zach knows the baby is his. It's not 100%, girl. She said she's going to go for child support to get more than a $3K. Better Betty should have took the $3K and just but you want to go that route, they're going to require a DNA test. If Zach's smart and does not sign that birth certificate, and you come to find out it's not his, you might not get nothing. So Danny tells Andy about the surprise that was waiting for her, supposed to be for Andy at the elevator that Nanny saw. And Andy's acting like a giddy little schoolgirl, like, yeah, that's my man. Ooh. No, I'd be like, you seen what? That D is so good. Andy done stepped away from the girls, got on her phone, and called Gary and told him to come back. He didn't even get in the car good. I said, ooh, she ain't leaving that man alone. She need to leave him alone, though, and get back on Robin's good side because she needs Robin's help. But whatever. So Sabrina finds out the prosecutor has it out for her because of Andy. He really got it out for Andy because Andy, in that whole divorce case that he had with his ex-wife. But he's taking it out on Sabrina, which is completely unfair. And I feel like just go and say it's a conflict of interest and get someone else. But okay. But Sabrina asked for Andy's help anyway with Maurice. And Andy was like, girl, no, I can't do that. I can't. Find somebody else to do it. Find somebody else. And everybody looking like, no, girl, you need to try to help. She's like, okay, I'll try. I'll ask. Andy is out of favors. Robin just said that he's broke or whatever. He ain't got the money for this firm or whatever he said. Look, Andy's out of favor. She's asked too many times. She's got Zach off. She got Fatima out. And then she had to pull strings to get Sabrina out. And now, come on, I know. She barely got Sabrina out. Danny tells him that Preston is at her place, and she tells him about the ring that she found in his pocket in a situation with him, saying he was going to propose to another woman, and she didn't talk him out of it. And she just don't know what to do, so she drinking, because, Andy wanted to be like, girl, stop bringing them strays over. How many times are we going to keep bringing that up? Like, what did that have to do? Okay, we just going to throw it in her face. Okay, got it. So, meanwhile, back at Zatima's house, Fatima has an envelope that Hayden served Zach with that he never opened. That has to do with baby mama number 1. And come to find out, she's suing for $500,000. Ooh, my boy can't catch a break. He said, I will move to Zimbabwe or whatever before I pay that. No. That's ridiculous. Like, what, y'all just grasping numbers out of nowhere. Like, they found out he got money and he couldn't even enjoy it for 6 months before they tried to take it. So Danny gets back home and she confronts Preston about the ring, and she's like, I found it in your pocket. And he's like, how you know that wasn't for you? True. How do you know? Probably because you told her you were going to propose to another woman. But he was like, did you try it on? And she's like, why would I do that? Yeah. Why would she do that? So he gets on his knee and he proposes to her. She's like, oh my God. She can't be serious for nothing. But she better say yes. And she better not mess with Q. Oh, Tyler know how to just work our nerves. But let me know what y'all think about this very, 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 very long stretch storyline with Karen especially. Deep down in the comments, be sure to like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.